Welcome to Tiny Tina Wonderlands Best Build, a series where I showcase the best build for each classes, so you know how to build your character to their best potential, as well as knowing which gear or skill you should be looking out for. Through this series, I hope that you get a better understanding of how the Wonderlands endgame scene is going on, or at least this series can aid you in the endgame adventure, so that you will have a better time grinding 100 chaos level. Yeah. And for the first episode, we have Spellshot. Spellshot is a classes of gun and spell, and it is great at both, so you often see either a gun build or spell build for Spellshot going around, or even a hybrid build between them two. Spellshot can also do some melee stuff, but I will explain that later in this video, so let's get in. Okay, and for number 4 we have Speed Scallion. This is a Spellshot and Stubbornmaster build made by Ancient Rune. This is a gun and spell hybrid build that aim for big damage for fast killing. I wouldn't go as in depth into this build as a normal build video would be, but if you want to find further information about this build, you can go into the Wonderland endgame doc. I will leave it down in the description, and there are even a video made by Ancient Rune showcase this build, so you can learn more from there. But I'm just going to make a very quick summary of this build. This build basically is trying to combine both gun and spell into its playstyle and tie them together with one skill, which is double knot. The reason this build works so well is because that you are investing into gun damage, but at the same time double knot allows for the investment into gun damage convert into spell damage, which is really nice. And generally you would want your gun to do the mobbing and the spell to do the bossing, because you know spell is the one who has a double dip in this build. But you can still try and do bossing with the gun since you already have a lot of gun buff, so it is still doable, but generally you would want to do the bossing with spell. And because of that reason, I don't see this build really stand out that much for me, so I put it in number 4. For number 3, we have Bloodrot Spellshot. Iconic build made by Ancient Rune. It is a gun build and it focuses around the Gluttony gun. With that being said, you can also use as a gun, but Gluttony will be your main this one. This build is also very tanky for a gun build because of Rush Shot Shield of survivability. So literally the only thing that will kill you in this build is Gluttony reload itself. So the reason I put it above Speed Scallion because it is modified and the gameplay is less clunky, and you will have a better time building up towards this because you know what to do and don't have to rely on other source. Like, I mean, Speed Scallion is very backward in the way that you are investing in one thing, but the other thing is actually more effective. So this, you know, philosophy way, this is a lot better. So I put it in number 3. For number 2, we have Spellshot. This Spellshot Berserker build was made by Ancient Rune. It is a melee build that utilizes spell blade, and the fact that this weapon damage is also increased by spell damage, so we use Spellshot for that. And because it is a melee weapon and this is a melee build, we use Berserker for its great formulas and Blood Shield, which is a melee double dip. There are also an alternative version where we use Stubbornmaster and Alchemical Agent, which is also very interesting, but from my playing experience, the Berserker version is way better. The reason this is number 2 is because of the fact that it is melee, and melee in this game is way better than gun and spell, like marginally way better. And the playstyle is also very addicting, for me at least. Many people don't really enjoy melee in this game, but I still love going up to face to face to enemy and whack them. So that is for number 2. Honorable mention. Now, what I would often do for this honorable mention section is showcasing the build that like very gimmicky in some way. So in today's honorable mention, we are showcasing Skip Circle, which is a Spellshot Berserker build made by Ancient Rune. This build is trying to use the polymorph skill and triggering its special ability in order to recast the same spell over and over, which make a very fun gameplay. This build is quite strong by itself, but I figure that since the gameplay is pretty clanky, very gimmicky, so I put it in honorable mention. But there are a lot of great moments you get out of this build. Now, lastly, for number 1, we have Spellshot. This Spellshot Greybone build was made by Ancient Rune and this is undeniably the strongest as well as the most popular build that Spellshot have in its arsenal. Now, this is described as a quick setup for using most spells in Wonderlands. But mainly you will use the Laser Hand or the Frozen Orb or the Wicked Gossip because they are some of the best spells in this game. But generally you can use literally any spell in the game, including some non-unique one. This build is incredible in its damage output, and the fact that this build has 2 double dipping skills make it very strong and can put out millions of damage at the end game. And also it is very great at survivability due to Greybone skills. One thing to note is that double knot is very special in that if you aim it at the crit spot of an enemy, it will also crit. One of the most common mistakes that I see people do is that not aiming the spell in the crit spot because they think they already have 100% spell crit chance, so why even aim it at the crit spot? No, aiming at the crit spot is very important because it allows double knot to crit, so you are double dipping your crit damage. With that being said, this is the best build, and if you are doing Spellshot and want the best damage output possible, I would recommend you going for this build. And it is pretty easy to build up to work to. Okay, so a little bit of rambling at the end of the video. You can leave now if you don't want to listen to this. I'm just going to talk about some updates in my life in general. Okay, so sorry for the break, but I'm back. I'm planning to put out a lot more content, and with this series being the start, I'm planning to do this for every classes in this game, and also I'm going to try branching out, do more type of content. I might not only do Wonderlands, I'm planning on doing some Borderlands 3 content. Other than that, there are a very important update on the last video that I put out a week ago about TVGSM in Wonderlands. So just in today, Red, Yeti and Pyrex just released a Nexus mod that will like basically do the same thing as the TVHM do, but like more cleaner, and you can do it inside the game instead of going on the web, so it can be somewhat safer. Like I was planning to do a video on it, but in the process of me trying it, it is crashing a lot, so I'm waiting for a fix before actually making a video about this mod. So that is it. That is the video. Hope you enjoy it. If you did, remember to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, join my Discord server if you want to have a discussion, or you want to download some of my save files that I make for some builds, and see you next time.